Now we see about metadata in Nest.js. There are many things you can do in metadata, but I will give a basic idea. So there are two types we can implement metadata, that is configure based and another one is file based. So configure based means we use metadata object or dynamic generate metadata function in any page or layout, and file based means we directly add the file in our source folder. So let's see one by one. So first we need to see the metadata object. So it is simple object, so we need to export the object and the name is metadata. So inside we give all our metadata like title, description, Nest.js project, then description, all things we can give here. So let's see. So I just refresh. So now you can see Nest.js project is our title. So this is the basic metadata object, and how we can add open graph image to our project. So to do this, first I will show the file based one because it is easy one. So we need to use the file name as open graph image. So I have a image, OG image in public. I just copy this image and put in the app folder. Now we need to rename this because the syntax is open graph image. That's all. Now let's see our application. So I just open the elements, and inside the head you can see we have the OG image. For Twitter tags it uses the same thing, but we can define, so we need to use Twitter image. So this is easily we can implement open graph image and Twitter image in Nest.js. The format will be .jpg or png or gif files. So open graph image, Twitter image, and you can see in the console there is a warning, that is metadata base is not set. So this is the base URL we need to set for all our reference URLs like image or any alternates like this. So let's set this. So we need to set metadata base, and inside we need to create a new URL object, and we just pass our domain localhost 3000. Now the error is done. So, and what else we can do means we can give alternatives, and inside we can pass denominator as slash. So if I pass this slash means then it will refer the metadatabase URL. So our this URL will come here. Also we can pass languages inside also we can pass languages inside denominator. Also we can pass language inside alternatives. All things we can do. So let's see in our elements. So I just refresh, and inside the head we can find the denominator, linked denominator and our domain. So you can see this is the file based open graph, but we can also give configure based open graph. So the file based will override our configure based. So I just delete this. So I give the open graph by configure basis. So we need to use open graph, and inside we need to use images, and we can pass the image. So I am using the image from public folder, so the name is og-image.jpg. so now you can see our image is changed, so og-image. so this is configure based open graph. And what are the other open graph things we have means, you can refer document. So but for time being I just give some important things like title and description and URL, and then site name, then type like website, article, like that. So all things we have, and the same we can have our Twitter tags. So the syntax is Twitter, and inside the same we need to use third for Twitter tag, and title, and same description, and some specific things for Twitter thoughts like creator and images like this. So you can refer documentation for these things. So and next we are going to see about rewrite of our metadata. So now I am defining these things in layout, so this will be common for all our pages. So if I go to a route, and if I create a metadata object here, then inside this route I give separate title and description, and I give separate open graph tags. So when coming to this route, the previous one is overwritten. For example, the title and description is overwritten, and inside the inside the open graph tag, if I use title means that will be overwritten, and but if I did not use description, then it will be get from our parent, that is layout. So this is overriding happens in metadata, and we have now seen only the metadata object, but we have a dynamic function that is generate metadata. So export function generate metadata. So this function is used for dynamic purpose, but we should not use both the things at the same file. So I just command this. Also these two metadata things will use only in server component, so we should not use these two things in client component. So these the generate metadata can be used for dynamic metadata, like if we have any product, then we can get the ID from dynamic route, and we can fetch that particular product image like that. So for this fetching purpose we can mark this as async, and for the dynamic params we have some parameters that, like this generate metadata function will have params and search params, and the another one is parent. So what this parent mean? The parent metadata. So you can see clearly in documentation. So in generate metadata file, generate metadata, so you can see this parent, they are is a async object. So this parent is a promise, so they are resolving the promise with await, and they are getting the open graph image. So if no image means the image, the variable values empty array, and finally they are using the returning the image with our current open graph images. So the parent is a promise of resolved metadata from parent route segment. So this parent is a parent route segment metadata. So if you have any layout or any other pages, then the parent can be used for the child to get the parent value, but we should not use directly in the layout because there is no parent for this one. So this is generate metadata. We can use this for dynamic fetching. Now we see configure based options like robots.txt, sitemap and manifest. So they are given the things like robots. So this is configure based. So inside metadata we just use robots like we already used opengraph, and we can pass the values. And they also have sitemap where it is. So let's leave that for now. So what others where they have means they have manifest and they have Twitter, which we already seen. What are the values you can refer here? So check if they have a sitemap for config method. So this is file based one, so I think they did not have sitemap, but I have somewhere seen the sitemap for config based. So let us check once again. Oh, they have separate function for sitemap. So they have separate function for sitemap. So using this we can use the configure based metadata. So also we can generate our opengraph image using image response constructor. So for this generate image metadata, like, so you can see the image response. So they are using the image response constructor to generate a image, like small image. So you all many things are available in documentation, you can refer. And now we see about file based configuration. So we now seen robots and sitemap with configure based, but we have file based configuration like in the file, in metadata files you can see robots.txt. So we write opengraph-image, we need to create a robots.txt file, and inside we can inside we can use this. So we can also directly return some robots.txt in robots.js file. So there are many options available, like the sitemap. We can use sitemap.xml, which is direct file based. Also they are generating it with JS file, and the same for manifest.json. So these are file based one. And now we see some JSON-LD. So what this means, these are schema markup. So where it is, so JSON-LD. So these are schema markup which are used to show our website nicely to nicely for rich content in Doodle. So to implement JSON-LD we need to use this type of syntax, like we need to use JSON-LD, create a JSON-LD object, and finally we need to return this with a script. So like this we need to do. And another one we have is, we have some generateViewport and viewport and generateViewport things, like the metadata and generateMetadata. We have viewport and generateViewport. So we need to export the viewport object, and inside we have many options. For now I just show the black color, theme color to black, and the same we have export function generateViewport. So the same, we should not use both at once. So this function will have the value of params prop of param, and we need to return that return the particular thing like we did return in our generate metadata function. So I just command this and also command this. So now we go and see our theme. Theme color black. So yes, meta name theme color black. So this is how. So we can also refer the viewport and generate viewport methods here. So this is viewport and this is generate viewport. So they have many options like media, based upon the media the color will change, and all things you can refer, and the initial with all things you can refer in documentation. So this is the basic idea about metadata in Nest.js.